Hello, hello. Welcome to the Speakers Lounge. I am Meredith Grundy with Grundy Coaching, and I'm here with Nona Prather today. And we're going to have a really amazing conversation about what it means to be a speaker, what it means to be in a bureau, what it means to find a booking agent. Nona is full of wisdom. I do this every first Monday of the month at 12 p.m. Eastern time because I want to help you, the community, out and educate you about how you can be more dynamic and unforgettable speakers. So Nona, I'm going to pass this baton to you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be talking today. So I'm the author of 24 Ways to Get Paid to Speak. And how I came about writing this book was because my dad is a professional speaker and I grew up in the speaking industry. I mean, he received his CSP from NSA. So I grew up every summer going to NSA, going to local meetings, traveling with him and stuff. So I just took what I learned. So I
And
took
your
what
dogs have learned how to speak as well, which I love.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
No,
So
you're good.
I learned from my dad from a young age. Oh my gosh, of course we're live. And yeah, of
This is real life, people. It's
course.
real life, Nona. You're good.
Sorry.
Well, as we are hushing the dogs right now, if you are watching, you're on LinkedIn Live and you have, just go ahead and if you're watching, say hi in the chat, in the comments. And if you have questions for Nona or for myself as we continue this conversation, please put those in the chat. We would love to hear from you. Welcome back, Nona.
Sorry about that. Oh my goodness. I should
No
have locked
worry. You know
the door.
what? This is the new world that we are in. We get to see it all, and that's what I love about it. It makes us more human. It makes us more approachable. So we love our dogs.
Yes, I know. They're my coworkers. Sometimes they're just a little mouthy, but
No, I love
um,
it.
they like to let me know when people are coming to see us or FedEx is coming or whatever.
Yes.
But anyway, so I grew up in the speaking industry and I managed a speaker bureau for 8 years. And I learned a lot from the bureau, but it wasn't always, I just wanted to do what I needed to do without have it represent the people that I really thought were great without having to go to like a board of directors and stuff. And so I started my own booking agency in 2020
Okay.
because things kind of went up in the air in 2020 and had to figure out what I was going to do next. So that's how my booking agency came about.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit if you can, because I know that there's some people who don't understand the difference between a bureau and a booking agent. Can you help differentiate those for us?
Yeah, for sure. So a bureau, some of them are really good, but a lot of times bureaus market the bureau as a whole. So they're not really focused on their individual clients unless they're a really big name. So they wait for the phone to ring to play matchup with who they have, and rather than like actually individually marketing the clients.
Mhm.
So with our booking agency, we actually market individually to each client, and they each get about 20 to 30 hours a week on their behalf. So we're really on the behalf of the speaker, and making sure they get what they need and reaching out to the people that they need. So it's a lot more individualized if you join a booking agency, which is why there's sometimes like a fee where there might not be a fee to join a bureau, but you get a lot more out of it, in my opinion, with a booking agency because it's really tailored around the talent.
Beautiful. And I was with a talent and still am with a talent agent for many years as an actor. And there's some similarities between the two, which is like you don't get paid unless I get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you get your percentage when I book the work. And that it's awesome because you have not only are you looking for work for yourself, but then you have somebody that is also advocating for you and highlighting you. So it's a win-win for both people.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So tell me a little bit about, I would imagine there's people who are watching who are like, okay, this is great. First of all, what do I need to get a booking agent, or what do I need to even get seen by a bureau? Help me out.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, we get a lot of referrals from clients that I've worked with. People will refer people to me that need help. So I think reach out to them and figure out, do a lot of research on which bureau is the best for you, or if an agent is best for you. Ask your friends, other people like speakers who are successful, and see who they work with. Yeah, and just do some research on which one's the best fit for you, because there's just so many different options. There's so many different bureaus, there's agencies, and every agency is a little different. Like, we do the funnel work from beginning to end, and then you see our activity. But some booking agents, it's like individual, they pitch you to one or two. So it just depends on what you're looking to get out of it, which one can be the best fit.
Beautiful, beautiful. So tell me, if I'm new in this and I know, I'm the expert, people keep telling me you need to write a book or you need to get on more
Yeah.
stages or use it for Gen Lead. Can you tell me what, if I'm in the infant stages of
Mhm.
even being a speaker, what advice would you give that person?
Yeah, for sure. Number one, I would get my book, 24 Ways to Get Paid to Speak, because it's kind of like, so like Mark LeBlanc said, in your hands, you hold a blueprint for doing more of the good work you are called and compelled to do. Take the steps and put the ideas into action. The world needs to hear you. So it's really, like he said, a blueprint of what you need. And so it kind of just explains like the stair step industry. Like, you need to start local, then you can go to associations, then you can start getting into the corporate world, which is a lot of times speakers get stuck and they'll say, I get stuck in the local and associations. I want to get up to the corporate and be the big keynoter. Well, there's kind of like a stair step that goes to that. And sometimes those big corporate keynotes, like, they know who their keynote's going to be a couple years in advance.
Mhm.
You got to get into them pretty early, and don't get discouraged, because it's all about like the follow-ups. And don't forget to, once you make that connection, to continue to like give them your monthly newsletter. Make sure you're calling them once a month or so. It's really a lot about the follow-ups.
Mhm.
But materials before you start, I mean, you're going to need a demo video, your headshot for sure, one sheet or a media kit, a website that actually is dedicated just to your speaking, even if that's not your like main goal of your money maker, that's just a business building. You still need a separate page for that speaking, because if they go on and their, a decision maker comes on and says, I wonder what Meredith does, and then you've got like, too much information about like your full-time job, or and that there just needs to be a dedicated page to the speaking, so that they don't get confused about, what does she do, what does she actually do, and
Mhm.
what do I need her for. Like, it just needs to be really clearly that you're a professional speaker, this is what you speak on, here's your audience takeaways. And then you can send them that one sheet demo video, and that's really how you get booked, is sending that materials and continuing to follow up.
Okay, beautiful. So let's just say that we're getting started out and you made some great, like, the stair stepping is
Yeah.
terrific. I'm going to add something to that and then I would love for you to expand on that as well, your thoughts around it. But I have been telling, I tell my clients a lot, make sure that even if you're starting in those associations or in your local chamber or at that local
Mhm.
level, that you're getting video footage, you're getting photos taken, like,
Yes.
oftentimes you're doing these things for free. I always say at no cost, it just changes it just a little bit, the
Showcase.
psychology of it, right? But
Call it a
there's
showcase.
what did
Yeah.
you say?
Instead of saying it's for free or volunteer, say you're doing a showcase. And that
Ooh.
just is, it sounds better, and they know it's a showcase. And then that way, I always hate when speakers will do something for free, and then the next thing you know, like, that decision maker talks to the next one, and then everyone's wanting you to talk for free, and you kind of get stuck in this rut where you can't like jump out to get to those paid events. So if you do a showcase, and then whenever you put on your program agreement, like, you can say 10,000, and mark it off and say discounted for this particular reason to this particular industry, but you don't want it to get around that you're doing for free. So I would say showcase, it just sounds better. And then you don't get stuck in that rut of non-paid speaker.
Well, but we're gonna spend a little time on this because I'm a little passionate about it because I feel like this is where also the entertainment industry stabs themselves in the foot too, right? So
Yeah.
when you say you work for free, I like this idea of calling it showcasing.
Mhm.
I also like to include, this is how much this would normally cost. I feel
Yes.
like that's really important so that they know the value that you are bringing them. And the
Yes.
other thing is when we keep saying we're working for free, we undervalue all the other speakers in the industry.
Absolutely, and that's something we kind of all need to work together on.
Yes.
Speakers, booking agents, bureaus, can we please stop doing free? Because we need to get paid again. I mean, the payments have not quite come back from before the pandemic, and it is getting better the further we get from it, but we all kind of need to band together and not do free stuff. So that
No,
we get paid.
no.
You know,
Yes.
so we all need to kind of
Yeah.
band together and
Yeah.
like, let's do this. Let's get the payments back. Because if people keep doing free, how is anybody ever gonna get paid? And then, it's just yeah, we need to band together. Everyone who's a speaker, everyone who's a booking agent, everyone who's a bureau, let's quit doing free stuff.
I agree 100%. And there are ways that we can go about saying, like, here are a couple of concessions that I'm going to
Mhm.
ask for that I would like alongside this showcase, which is I would like to be able to have a videographer, or unless you have one, I would like that footage, or I would like to be able to have someone take photos unless you have someone taking photos. I would like a testimonial, please, at this end of this showcase that I am giving you. So I feel like there's lots of things that you can do to set yourself up for success and to set your booking agent up for success and your bureau up for success. So we'll always be thinking about those things because
Mhm.
it impacts all of us.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. I love this conversation because I feel very strongly about it because
Me too.
I feel like it's important to just say as well that when you are speaking, it might only feel like, "Ooh, I'm getting paid X amount of money for 45 minutes. That's it." No, you are getting paid because of all of that expertise that you have built over the years, whether that's your master's degree or your training or your PhD or whatever. You are the expert. You're the person who's bringing this wisdom, and you are changing lives. And that doesn't have a price tag.
Yeah, plus it's like, I mean, if you're getting paid $10,000 for an hour-long keynote, you're not thinking about, like, you're probably gonna get there 2 days early, so that's, like, a day out of 2 days out of the office, plus the travel day on the way back. I mean, it's not I think a lot of people think of it as, "Oh, it's $10,000 for 1 hour," and you're like, I mean, no, it's a lot more than that, and plus all the time that the speaker has put together to
Yep.
write their book, make their worksheets, work on their slides, get their videos together. I mean, it's a lot of work,
A
and
lot
I
of
think
work.
a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into that. And that's what I say is like, I'm getting ready to speak in Dallas on Wednesday, but the event actually started today, but I didn't want to take 2 days out of my office to go speak for 1 day. And a
Right.
lot of, it's just yeah, it's just a lot more work than a lot of people realize it is.
Now let's talk about that a little bit. You just said, okay, there's an event, it's already started. I'm going to go speak one day. So there are speakers who will be there for the whole event because
Yeah.
they can and they want to drop into the community. They want to get to know the audience.
Yeah,
And then
they can
there's
network.
speakers who are, I'm going to come, I'm going to speak, and then I'm going to go.
Well, I don't like anyone who comes I say that's kind of like a diva move. Don't come in, speak, and then leave because you're sending a lot of you're just leaving a lot of money on the table. So I don't expect any of my speakers to go if it's a 3-day event. You don't have to go for the entire 3 days, but you should be present the entire day that you are speaking because I mean, after you get off stage, you're going to want the decision maker to introduce you to other decision makers. You're going to want to meet the audience who might also have a connection to somewhere you can speak. I always say network the entire day you're there. And whenever I come in and do negotiations, like I don't say $10,000 for a 1 hour keynote. I say it's a $10,000 day fee because they're literally buying your time for the entire day. They want you to network. They want you to communicate. They want you to hand out books. They want you to network with the audience. And you need to be present for the entire day, maybe not the entire 3 days, but at least the day that you're speaking, be there the whole day.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I love that clarity because I have worked with some of the divas
Yeah.
who drop in. They're like they drop in and then they're bye. They're out, and it
Yes.
also there's just this energetic disconnect too.
Mhm.
There really is.
Puts off this air of like, I'm better than everyone. I'm coming in to be the star and then I'm leaving. And it's
Yeah.
just, you don't really get repeat work if you're a diva. I mean, it's honestly, the speaking industry is all about relationships.
Mhm.
It's all about communication. It's about who you know. It's largely based off referrals. And you want to make the best impression that you can because that's how you get more engagements. And honestly, as a booking agent for me, because I'm the one finding these events for my clients, if they come in and leave, it's not good for me either. It's not
Right.
good. It looks bad on me. And I don't have the opportunity to get more engagements because a lot of my speakers will go in and then while after they get off stage, they have like a line of people with their cards and they're like, hey, I want you to come speak at my event. Well, I can start that conversation while they're still at the event talking to people. If they just like text me or email me real quick their contact information, I can already start getting those things going. And so
Yeah.
the spin-off work is really important for us too. And that's definitely leaving money off the table for me as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
So
Beautiful. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, um, this question, which is, let's just say, because you rolled out a lot of things for beginner speakers, and I talk to beginner speakers a lot, or people
yeah.
who a lot. So I would love for you to help us start. What's the first thing we should start with? Yes, it's getting on a stage, but some people don't know what a speaker one sheet is. Some people don't know. Like, I would love for you to talk a little bit about like what makes a good demo reel,
Okay. Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like, can we just talk about those two things to start? So
Mhm.
the speaker one sheet and the demo reel.
Yeah, so I say keep it around 1 minute because honestly, the decision maker is probably only gonna watch the first 30 seconds, and then they're gonna decide. And at the time when they do have your demo reel, they probably already know what you speak about because they probably already got your looked at your website. They know your audience takeaways because that should be on your website as well. They probably emailed back and forth. And so demo reel in this day and age is extremely important. And so, yeah, but it doesn't need to be like a really, oh, sorry. It doesn't need to be like a really long drawn out video that costs thousands of dollars because people will contact speakers and say, I'll make you this amazing demo reel for $10,000, $5,000. Honestly, just get a Hey mic or whatever it's called and connect one so that you have audio. And if you don't have one, I always say fake it till you make it as well. Use your phone, whatever. You can go to a local PAC, get that done if you don't have an event already. But yeah, this day and age, demo reel is extremely important. I always say, like, have like 3 quotes that you have
Mhm.
said. So you'll have a quote. If you have a testimonial, that's great. And they need to see you on stage is the most important thing because at the time they're looking at it, they want to see how you interact with the audience because they don't want someone who stands behind the podium, reads from the slides the entire time. They want to see someone moving around on stage, pointing at the audience, asking audience questions. And you can just pretend there's an audience in front of you if you don't have one already. But then, like what you said, every single event that you do, you should be collecting new footage, new pictures. I have it written in my contract for all of my clients. Anything that we book, they're required if they have a videographer to send us the raw footage of that speaker so that we can use it to update demo reels and things. But yeah, if you don't have one as a very brand new speaker, go to your local performing arts center, ask if you can borrow their stage for 10 minutes and have a friend video you and just pretend like there's 30,000 people there. It doesn't, just make something so that they have something and make sure that their just biggest fear is that they're going to put someone on stage that's absolutely going to bore the audience. That's their biggest fear. So,
Yeah, and I would say too, make sure that you show full body, not just the head.
yeah,
Right? Just show
yeah,
so that people can see your physical presence on stage as well, which I think is
mhm,
really important.
yes,
And I love that you said, like, it doesn't need to be like, you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get started as a speaker. And if you don't have anything, utilize the resources that are locally around you. A lot of
yeah,
libraries have stages.
yeah,
Um, Rent a studio room.
yes,
That is all really amazing advice. I actually just saw a great speaker reel that was of just one talk that was broken up,
Yeah.
And then had some like overlay of like the testimonials and the
Yep.
quotes that you were talking about and some nice music in the back. And actually, I was engaged enough to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Right?
just did one for, yeah, I have a videographer that works with me and he can edit demo reels. And we just made one for our client, Jerry Fish. And he gave us a 30-minute raw footage of him doing a talk in front of, it was like a workshop. So it was like a
Hmm.
classroom style. But yeah, but he gave us enough footage. We were able to pick out 3 really good quotes, beginning of a story, so that people will say, "Oh, I wonder how that story ended." So we kind of did like a first clip of the story, just to catch attention, and then he had like 3 different testimonials that we like popped up in between.
Yeah.
And it was great. It showed him like, and we got some footage of him like pointing in the audience, asking someone a question. And it didn't show the audience members, but it was obvious that he was pointing and speaking to that person. So yeah, it
Brilliant.
was a good video, just like 1 minute
Okay. Okay.
quote. That's really
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. Oh, we're getting a question here. Helen Johnson, hello. Thank you for being here. That kind of video edit does cost unless you are an editor yourself.
Yes, we
Yes,
can
it does.
edit, which we can edit for people, but honestly, like on my MacBook Pro, I have editing software where I can do like just really simple edits. And so it doesn't cost you a whole lot if you have that software on your computer already. And then one sheets, sometimes people will spend a lot of money, like $500-$600 on a one sheet, but honestly, you can do those yourself on Canva for like 12 bucks. If
Yeah,
if you know, but if not, then yeah, you can get someone to do it for you probably pretty cheaply. Yeah, and I have people on my team that help me do all of that.
all of that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
great, great. And then also, yeah, just to ask people to get a review of it. Have people look at it before before you submit
Mhm.
it. Like, is this would
Absolutely.
you take so Nona, do you ever do audits for people?
Yes, yeah, people send me their one sheets, their media kits, have us look at the website, and we'll, like, kind of audit their stuff.
Okay.
I have a website auditor actually on my team. She helps me with editing and looking through websites, and then we have a website, builder on our team as well that can do that kinda stuff. Yeah, and it's honestly just really simple because your one sheet and your, website will probably have the same information as well, just maybe except for the addition to your video. Um, yeah, but it's still like
Okay.
3 audience takeaways, and they need to be active. And
Okay.
that's probably the most main thing is like, what is the audience gonna learn? Is the 3 most important things, like actionable items. So not just like, oh, a sense of feeling of ownership in the company, but like steps and tips and tricks on how to, do better in the workplace or whatever your topic is, needs to have 3 actionable takeaways
Okay.
that the decision maker can really look at.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so if you're watching right now and you have not connected with Nona on LinkedIn, please do. If you're watching via YouTube right now, here is a QR code where you can get in touch with Nona at Speaker Elevation. And I know, Nona, you have lots of free or complimentary giveaways for
Yeah.
people that they need. So please feel free to reach out to Nona. She is a wealth of information. Nona, what is it that we need to know that we don't know that we haven't discussed yet?
Yeah, I think a lot of people ask me what the biggest mistake emerging speakers make. And I always say the number one thing is that they don't have a niche that they're really an expert in. So my biggest pet peeve is whenever I get on a discovery call and the person says, I just want to be a star. I want to be the speaker. I want to be a keynote. But they've never done it before. And so I'll say, okay, here's the thing. You need a niche, you need a specific industry that you can dive deep into to become that expert. Because that's how my dad made it big in the speaking industry and got his CSP, as he really dove deep into manufacturing plants, electric companies, energy companies, and as
Mhm.
the safety expert. So he did a lot of getting his certifications, a lot of trainings. He wrote like 12 different books. A lot of people know him for those safety trainings. And unfortunately, they bring him in normally when something happens on the job for him to mitigate the risk and all of that.
Mm.
But yeah, but he I mean, he dove deep into the industry, and he literally speaks to manufacturing plants, electric companies, and oil and gas industry. I mean, that is his niche, and
Yep.
he has made quite a bit of money and has been very successful in that niche. So I just feel like that is the trick. That's really the trick, is to be specific on what you do and become that expert, and that's how you get known, and that's how the money comes in. But if you try to speak to any and everyone, every single industry, you just it's too wide. It's just too wide.
It's too
And it
wide. And
yeah.
and I will say I've niched down to technical industries
Yeah.
because 'cause I've had some luck there,
Mhm.
and I speak for more industries than tech.
Mhm.
Like, other people will reach out to me.
I'll say
So,
like 3 to 5 industries is really
yeah,
a good one, and of course, if someone reaches out to you from a different industry, that's perfect. Add it to the list,
heck yeah.
but you just need to start off with niching down to become that expert in particular industries, and then see which one really resonates or really responds really well, and then just go as deep as you can into that, because that's where the money will come from for
I
sure.
love it, I love it. Okay, now here's another question that people ask often. Do I need a book to be a
I
speaker?
well, I struggle with this question because I wanna say yes. Do you have to? No. Does it help you immensely? Yes. You will get more bookings, because if you have a book about a particular topic, I mean, if you wrote the book on it, obviously you're that expert on that topic. So it just goes a lot more, and you will get probably paid a higher fee because you're seen more of an expert if you have a book. And you can definitely say you're an author, even if it's articles. So, like, you can start off. This is what I always suggest, because people are like, oh my gosh, writing a book is just like such a big, it seems like a big, hairy goal. So, you can start small by reaching out to art magazines and online publications in your industry. And then you could just write 400-word articles with 3 points, like 3 audience takeaways, and then wrap it up. And once you get, like, so many articles published, and often, I mean, they're free, like, you write them and they publish you, and then they market it, and so it can be a good tool to use. And then once you have so many articles written, then you can turn it into a book, or you can take that base of that article and expand it into a book.
Mhm.
That's what I always suggest, is if it's like a huge, big, hairy goal that is just so overwhelming, start with a 400-word article with 3 points or 3 tips,
Yeah,
and that's where you start.
I would love to share how I'm into chapter 2 of my new book. I'm writing a book. I have not had a book yet. I'm gonna have a book. In 9 months, Nona, you're gonna see a book from me.
Good.
And I'm very excited about it. And the one thing that has helped me tremendously is Laura DeFranco has an amazing, collab. So you're doing a collaboration, you're building a book together, and everyone just has a designated chapter. What that helped
Yeah,
me do is just I was like, "This is much easier than I thought it was,"
yeah,
and I have been noodling and in my own head for such a long time, and she has really helped me just simplify the process, so this if
yeah.
I say find community too, that's also really helpful, so I highly recommend that,
That is a good
and
tip too, yeah. I have a chapter in a book coming out called, like, The Genius
yeah.
book. I have and yeah, like, 1 chapter. If you can find someone that needs a chapter, then you're a published author.
Yes, exactly. I'm already a published author. I've got a chapter in a book
Yeah,
already. And it helped inspire me to now have the confidence to write my own book. And I will say it does matter because I have done plenty of trainings now and almost every time I'm done with a training someone walks up to me and says, "Do you have a book?"
yeah.
And that is such a lost opportunity.
It really is, and the thing is about, like, we'll come in and we'll negotiate a speaker fee, but then we'll negotiate the travel fee, so a flat travel rate. But then I also ask, because it's also, a lot of people don't realize this, there's the speaker fee, travel fee, but then they'll have an education or resource budget that is separate from that. And that's where you can ask them, do you have an education or resource budget? And would you like to have a book in the hand of all of your attendees before I get there? Or you can use them in your swag bag, or you can use them in your giveaway if you have like a reward or whatever. I mean, you can use it. And here's the thing about books: nobody throws away books. It seems like
Amen.
it's almost like burning a book. You're like, oh my gosh, it's like a sacred item. And most people feel like that. and most people love collecting books, and they're like, "Oh, I love it." So nobody's gonna throw away a book if you hand them a book. So I use these whenever I go to speak. I hand these out for free. I mean, they cost me like $2.50 to each purchase. It's not a big, it's not like a huge. So anyways, I hand them out for free, and this is kind of like my calling card. This is like, instead of a card, I'm like, "Here's my book," you
Here's
know,
my
and
book.
and then they set it on their shelf, and then they see it every once in a while. They're like, "Oh, I need to read
Oh,
Nona again," because people do not throw away books. I mean,
I
really.
agree. I agree. I'm looking under my desk right now because I've got a stack of them, and every once in a while I'll pull out one and I'll read a chapter, and then I put
Mhm.
like, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I have
I
tons of
think
books.
it's amazing. Well, Nona, I'm gonna give the QR code here so that people can find that's my QR code. Sorry about that. I meant to do yours. But yes, please do connect with me as well. I'm Meredith. And then this is Nona's QR code. So please connect with her. If you are in that place where you have niched down, you know what you're speaking about, you know you want to take the next step, and you want to get someone to help you and find that speaker agent, please reach out to Nona. She's fantastic, as you can tell. And if you are looking for support as a speaker and you would like to start developing that talk so that you can get in front of Nona, please reach out to me in that upper left-hand corner, or scan that code, or follow me here on LinkedIn if you're not already, and or jump into my Improv for Speakers program. It's just a weekly workout, like a gym membership, where you can work out those speaking skills, be more conversational, be more adaptable, build that trust with your audience quicker. I
Mhm.
will be back here in March, first Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. You can also find me on YouTube. And Nona, this has been fantastic. So thank you for helping my community and your community out so that we can all get on more stages and start changing more lives.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right.